Harry works at the university. He is a teacher of philosophy and psychology. In his lectures, he raises important philosophical questions and often tries to understand how life works. Harry is a very withdrawn and calm man. At home, he lives with 2 cats and has an ordinary, calm, and even boring life. But no one knows that Harry works in the police on weekends. He comes to another assignment. His job is to listen in on a conversation between a customer and a fake hired killer. But today, everything will change. Harry learns that he is being promoted, and now he must go and pretend to be a killer. Before the start of the assignment, he gets into Jasper's car. Jasper gives him instructions and says that this is a very difficult matter. He says that Harry can even be killed. Jasper was suspended from the case due to violations of the order. Harry is very afraid that he may fail the mission. He tries to explain to the management that he is not a hero and not brave, but he has no choice. Harry changes his clothes and goes to meet the client. Harry enters a cafe and sits down next to his target. The man looks at Harry and evaluates his appearance. He says that Harry does not look like a killer, but Harry quickly thinks and gets out of the situation. He says that this is his disguise and starts asking questions. He takes the initiative completely into his own hands and starts asking the customer about who he wants to kill and why. The man asks Harry about the details of his work. He wants to know how Harry will do it and cover all the tracks. Harry says that he will feed the body to an alligator and blow up the skull with dynamite so that there are no teeth left. He also wants to get rid of all his fingers separately so that he will never be found. Harry's partners listen to this conversation and are amazed at what a professional Harry is. He describes the killer's work in great and cruel detail and speaks with great confidence. The man hands over the money and leaves the cafe.
Yep. The next time you see me, you'll have a brand new light.
The police immediately detain the suspect.
Right in the court of law. Right to the attorney. You so design cannot afford one bit of point. You understand these rights?
Harry really liked pretending to be a killer, but most of all, he liked being a cool and confident guy. Harry is hired permanently. He begins to study films about killers and understands that he needs to create a new image individually for each client. He begins to go on missions and successfully pretends to be a killer. Each new client believes that he is facing a professional, and they all end up behind bars. One day during his lunch break, Harry meets his ex-wife. He still loves her, but she will never come back to him. She says that anyone can change if they want to. Harry thinks that thanks to his new job, he will be able to change. He comes to the police station. Jasper returns and wants to get his job, but the boss tells him that Harry did a much better job, and there is no point in them returning Jasper to work. Jasper recently got into a fight with teenagers, and such a policeman cannot work on important missions. In a day, Harry has to meet a woman who wants to kill her husband. Harry checks her in the database and realizes that the woman has never broken the law. In the morning, he chooses a new image for himself and comes to meet in a cafe. The woman's name is Madison, and she wants her husband to die. She says that she lives as if in a prison. She is forbidden to work and do what she likes. Harry calls himself by a new name. His name is now Mark. He dilutes the atmosphere and makes fun of Madison. For a short time, she forgets why she came to the meeting. Mark acts confidently and like a real man, and he immediately makes a good impression on Madison. Madison notices a dog and says that she loves dogs very much, but Mark loves cats more. But Madison gets a call on her phone and remembers why she came here. She says that she can't live like this anymore and has to take this step. Harry understands that Madison is just confused, and he doesn't want her to ruin her life. Harry risks his job, but decides to save the girl. He doesn't take the money and tells her to take it for herself, not to come home today. She has to start a new life, and she doesn't need to kill her husband for that.
If you change your mind, you have my number.
Madison takes the money and leaves. Harry gets a reprimand because he didn't do his job, but he isn't fired. He continues to be a killer and try on new identities, but he is often summoned to court, where he is accused of provoking people to commit crimes. One day, Harry receives a message on his phone. Madison invites him to go for a walk in the park. The girl thanks him for talking her out of committing a crime. She divorced her husband and moved into a rented house. She also got a job in this park. In the evening, they go to a bar together. Madison does not believe that Mark kills people. He tells her that he does not kill everyone. Madison likes Mark. She wants to kiss him, but Mark warns her that he cannot do this since he tries to be unnoticed, but he cannot resist. They come to Madison's house. They spend the night together. In the morning, Mark is going to leave, but Madison asks him to stay. She asks if he will come to her again. Harry understands that he should not do this, but Madison promises that she will not tell anyone about him and that they can only see each other at her house so that Mark does not risk his freedom. Mark accepts her offer. Mark and begin dating and spend romantic evenings together. Harry really liked Mark's life. One day, Madison shows Mark the gun she bought. She says that she needs a revolver only for self-defense, and she asks Mark to teach her how to shoot. In the evening, they go to a club together to have fun, but suddenly, they meet Madison's husband.
Madison?
The man does not look aggressive, but he insults Madison and says that he hates her for treating him this way. Mark asks him to leave them, but the man does not listen.
Apologize.
Madison tells her husband to leave. In the taxi, she falls in love with Mark even more and says that he is very cool. They arrive at a diner, and Mark asks why she lied to him. Earlier, she said that she divorced her husband, but it turns out that they are still married. Madison says that her husband is dragging out the process. Mark believes her. Mark notices Jasper and realizes that this is a big problem. Jasper comes up to them but pretends not to recognize the girl. After a short conversation, Jasper leaves. The next day, Harry has to do his job again. He comes to the cafe and sees Madison's husband. He sits down with his back to him and starts asking questions. A man asks him to carry out an order so that his wife would understand what she did. Harry understands that this guy is not a killer, and maybe not even a bad person. He shows him his face and says that he is ready to carry out the order. The man gets scared and takes the money. Thus, Harry saved him. He comes to Madison and says that they need to leave because her husband could kill her himself, but she is not afraid, because she is sure that Mark will protect her. Harry leaves, and the next day comes to the police station. He learns that Madison's husband was killed. The police do not know who did it, and an investigation has been launched. Harry understands that Madison most likely did it. Jasper tells everyone that he saw Harry and Madison at the table. Harry says that it was just a chance meeting. Jasper's going to follow Harry's every move. Mark comes to Madison and asks if she knows about the murder. She already knows and says that she does not know who did it. Mark calms down because he was sure that it was her. He hugs her and Madison says that she is scared. Harry is shocked. He begins to panic. Madison does not understand why he is reacting this way. Harry tells her the truth. He gives his real name. Madison does not understand why he deceived her. Harry admits that he just liked being Mark. Madison asks Harry to leave. Harry receives a phone call and goes to the police station. He is told that Madison is the main suspect. After her husband's death, she will receive an insurance payment of $1 million. Jasper comes up with a special operation. Harry must come to her house and ask her about what she did. Jasper is sure that Harry is involved in this case and wants to expose him. Harry comes to Madison with a hidden microphone. He takes out the phone and shows it to Madison. She plays along and says that she knows nothing about her husband's murder. She also says that she was not aware about the $1 million. She throws him out of the house so that the police can be absolutely sure Madison is cleared of suspicion. Harry comes to her in the evening, but a surprise awaits him there. Jasper did not believe them and came to Madison to expose them. He asks for money for his silence and promises not to tell the police anything, but suddenly he falls to the floor. Madison tells him that she mixed drugs into his water. She is afraid that if he dies, she will go to prison forever. Harry gets up and takes a bag from the kitchen.
What's that for?
Commitment.
Harry puts the bag on Jasper's head. He says that Jasper is a bad cop who constantly breaks the law. They will take him to the highway and make it look like an accident in the car. Madison does not believe that Harry is ready to commit murder for her. Harry says that he loves her and therefore is ready for anything. She also confesses her love to him. Several years pass. Harry still works at the university. After work, he picks up his daughters from school. Madison and Harry got married and had children. They are happily married and try not to remember that day. This is where the movie ends. Subscribe if you've enjoyed.